I'm going to start my debate in 3, 2, 1. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, in this morning, I want to bring the motion this House regrets OpenAI's transition towards a for profit structure, and I am here standing as the opposition. In the dreams of a utopian grant-funded AIs, it is beautiful, but unfortunately, supercomputers do not run on good intentions. Welcome to the opposition. So, to set the parameters to win this debate, the opposition does not need to prove that the corporate world is flawless. We simply just need to prove that the immense capital required to build and sustain a frontier AI makes a for-profit transition not a regrettable necessity, but the only solution to ensure this technology is actually developed, secured, and kept out of the exclusive hands of pre existing monopolies. To make sure we are on the same page, we define OpenAI's transition not as an abandonment of morals, but as a structural evolution required by the physical limits of hardware. A purely non-profit model is incompatible with an industry where training a single model costs billion in processing power. So we also need to set some preemptives. Before stepping into our main arguments, we must ground the proposition's claim in reality. The proposition argues that OpenAI could survive on grants and donations. They even suggest that in the worst case scenario, the company would simply take out loans. This is economically impossible. You cannot finance billions of dollars in just traditional bank loans or philanthropic donations. Furthermore, the proposition claims that Sam Altman is the only reason for this profit orientation. This ignores the entire landscape of tech industry. AI requires infinite computational scale, which inherently requires infinite capital. So, pedals, let's go to my arguments about the economic of innovation. The proposition states that for profit structures, they really need premature releases, causing companies to crash and burn, and employees to get crushed under deadlines. We completely deny that nonprofits are immune to this failure or that for profits inherently produce broken tools. Real world testing is exactly how you make AI safer, keeping it locked in a nonprofit. It's it just will be a real world without guardrails. The proposition fears that private ownership makes corporate easier. We flip this logic entirely. If OpenAI remained a financially starved nonprofit, they would get crushed by existing corporations like Google and Meta, who already have endless capital and existing profits. By transitioning to a for-profit model, OpenAI democratized the AI race, ensuring that an independent can compete with the tech titans. Even if we didn't believe the proposition's point that investors demand returns, the market not naturally punishes these toxic or highly biased AIs. Therefore, the profit motive itself acts as mitigating guardrail against reckless deployments. So, panels, I'm going to go with the second argument about hiring and the talent acquisition. So, we deny that the proposition because the proposition always saying about this non-profit engineer claiming that without a profit incentive you automatically get better employee loyalty, deeper insights, and better AI hands. We deny this passion does not pay the bills in the most competitive labor market on earth. They argue that these structures only attract greedy employees who do not care about the social good. We flip this. Building safe AI requires this absolute top 1% of global talent. You cannot recruit the low end of talent. The for-profit structure does not just buy code, it buys the sheer brain power to make AI necessarily safe. Even if a handful of engineers leave because they prefer a non-profit environment, the massive top-tier talent and world-class resources completely mitigate that loss. resulting in a significantly capable and much more secure product. And I am going to do my rebuttals to the opposition second argument about the AI bubble. The proposition's argument, which claims OpenAI's transition creates a race to the bottom where companies prematurely release products, abandon safety standards, and create a massive economy destroying financial bubble. So, as for my argument is that the proposition always argues that a for-profit structure inherently forces companies to lower their standards and that resulting tech bubble will destroy the economy. We fundamentally deny this promise because financial investment does not equate to a pact to for a suicide pact for safety. In reality, corporate liability is the strictest regulation of Earth. Releasing a broken AI would result in catastrophic losses, severe government crackdowns, and total collapse. Investors prioritizing profit are mathematically not incentivized from releasing a product that will legally and financially ruin them. Furthermore, we deny proposition's claim that non-profit waiting 30 years to release a well-thought-out product is a safe strategy. In technology, moving that slowly means you become completely irrelevant. So, I'm going also to say why proposition is not really good because the proposition operates on pure fantasy. They argue that slowing down development gives the government more time to study and address AI. But AI development is a global reality, not a local science fair. If a pro-social nonprofit slows down to wait for sluggish hearings, bad actors, or rival nations with zero ethical constraints, the proposition's world does not lead to safer AI. It leads to an AI's ecosystem dominated by those who doesn't care about safety. So, in summary, we deny that frontier AI can be built on a string of budget of grants and good vibes. We flip because the profit motive the we flip the for-profit destroys safety. It is the necessary safety research and talent acquisition. We mitigate this because we fear of corporate recklessness by observing that the market punishes the dangerous products. Ultimately, the proposition's world bankrupts the only independent lab capable of building a safe AI directly, handing the future of this technology over to existing unregulated monopolies. Thank you.